welcome to another episode of the High Value Man podcast. I'm your host, Eston Swaby. Today, I want to talk to you about what's on the other side of you saying yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, yes to the assignment that is on your life, yes to your purpose, yes to that opportunity that comes even though you are afraid, even though you don't know what to do or you're doubtful. Many of us as men, we have dreams, we have ideas of where we want to go, but we allow other people opinion of us to stop us from saying yes to ourselves. And so we live a life, we settle for less than what we want. We settle for a life that we don't really want. And we find ourselves just going around in circles. We find ourselves just going through the motions. Right? I remember there was a time I was going to a 9 to 5 job, and every day I woke up each day feeling unfulfilled. I know that I was called for more, right? I had big dreams, things that I wanted to accomplish, right? But I was refusing to say yes to myself. And even though, yes, I was taking some actions, right? But I was not playing big enough because I knew that if I said yes to the opportunity, yes, and that full body yes, then it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me something that at the time I was not willing a price I was not willing to pay. I was not willing to let go of the Eston that I was. I was not willing to let go of my fears, my insecurities. I was not willing to dedicate myself to the assignment, to the work that I was called to do. Right? And so I second. I woke up every day going through the motions. Right? I woke up every day when I heard the alarm clock. The alarm clock would went off, I would snooze it and I would keep snoozing it until I just could not ignore it anymore. And we are living we are living our lives where and we're just snoozing, we are just sleeping through life because we're not i- saying yes to ourselves. Saying yes, that full body yes, is uncomfortable. It's going to cost you something, and so sometimes we are not willing to pay that cost. Right? Sometimes it's the fear of being judged, right? The fear of what if I do it? What if and it doesn't work out, right? Or the fear of what if they see me in a different light? And so that fear stops us. It causes us to start playing small. I remember when I wrote my first book, An Empowered Life, that was a yes. That was a yes to myself, yes to the assignment, because for years I was feeling called to write a book, but then I was afraid. And so what I did when I wrote my first book, An Empowered Life, you can get a copy of it on Amazon. I'll post a link to it in the show notes or in the description. And I knew that I had to write the book, but I was struggling with self-esteem. I was struggling with fear. I was struggling with the fear of rejection, the fear of being judged, right? What and at the time I was easily discouraged. And so what I did is that I wrote the book An Empowered Life and I did not tell anyone about it. I wrote the book and I did not do much promotion on it either. But I wrote the book because I was willing to say yes. Even though it was not a yes in terms a full body yes where I would promote the book or market or put myself out there as I should because it was scary to put myself out there. Putting yourself out there is scary. But you see, sometimes your yes may look different from other persons. Your yes could be launching that business. Let's use that book for example. Your yes could be writing that book, but not showing up as powerful as you could, but you're still saying yes, and that's okay. Cause that's where you are in the season of your life. Sometimes we have to learn to creep before we can walk, right? And so creeping for you may look like just writing the book and then not marketing it. It may look like starting that business but not going 100 in it, right? But what if you take that action and you say yes, you have that full body yes despite of the fear, right? And when I wrote that book, An Empowered Life, as I said, I did not tell anyone about it. I did not tell my friends, and even the person that I was dating at the time, I did not tell her that I was writing a book until the book was published, and I brought a copy to show them, right? And that book went on after I started to put myself out there, right? Not 100%, but I was still putting myself out there. And I had people, because I wrote that book and it was based on my own life experiences, a lot of persons were coming to me and they were telling me about how much my book transformed their life, how my book helped them. Right? I had persons that I remember selling a copy to one of my co-workers at the time, and as she opened the book and she started to read it, an Empower Life is a daily devotional, and she just started reading one of the days, right? And as soon as she started reading, she shouted, "This is what I'm going through. This is the same thing that I'm going through." Right? So my book was speaking to her immediate situation. And that was like that's most of what I've heard people saying to me, that my book spoke to their situation, that my book helped them to overcome or to get through a situation that they were going through and they didn't know how they were going to go through it. But because I said yes to the assignment, even though I was struggling with low self-esteem, even though I never believed in myself, even though I was very fragile, emotionally fragile at that time, even though my life wasn't perfect, things were not going the way that I wanted it to in my personal life, right? Even though I was fearful, I still took action and I said yes. And because I did that, a lot of people were inspired by me writing that book. A lot of people got help because of that book. I remember a pastor for a church, when he got a copy of the book, right? Because another pastor sold him a copy of the book. I gave a pastor some copies to sell for me, and he sold another pastor a copy, right? And that pastor, when he started reading the book, he said he found the book so helpful. Because he found that book so helpful, he started to teach Bible class from that book, right? For a couple of weeks, right? So people are coming out to people that I did not know, telling me how my book helped them, because I was willing to say yes. I was talking to one of my friend this morning, and I was talking to her about writing her book, writing her own book, sharing her story. And one of the things that I said to her, because she was telling me all of the reasons why she knew that she was supposed to write a book, but she was allowing her excuses or different reasons to stop her from writing that book. And I said to her, who, well, I said it in not exactly how I'm saying it now, but I was saying to her, if you don't write that book, who will not get the help or the support that they need? If you do not say yes to yourself, yes to that what you are called to do, yes to what God has shown you, who will not experience your wisdom, your gift? Who is right now waiting for you to say yes? But because you're allowing your fear to hold you back, they are not going to get the wisdom, the knowledge, the inspiration that they need. So my question to you is, who is waiting for you to say yes? So who is waiting for you to say yes to yourself? Many times we are afraid. We are afraid of rejection. We're afraid of putting ourselves out there because of what? Because of the stories that we are telling ourselves. The stories like, what if they don't believe me? What if I'm rejected? What if they say no? So what? So what if they say no? So what if you get rejected? Your assignment is more important. Your assignment is more important than someone else's opinion of you, right? One of the things is that we allow we focus too much on ourselves, and that is what is stopping us. But what if you shift the focus from yourself and start focusing on the people that you're called to serve, right? What if you stop focusing on you need to say yes to yourself. You need to say yes to the dream, yes to what God has placed you to do, yes to, like many of you right now, you are in a dead end job. You're in a job that doesn't fulfill you, a job that you want to come out of. But because of your fear, you're not fear. You keep going to that job every day, but you're not taking any action. What will happen? My question to you is, what will happen if you say yes? Who will you get to become because you say yes? What will you have because you say yes? That is what I want. That is what I want to leave. That's the question that I want to leave you today with today. What will happen? That's I'm talking about the benefits here. What are the benefits? What will happen if you actually say yes? Yes to yourself, yes to having those uncomfortable conversations, yes to putting yourself out there, yes to going after your dreams, yes to hosting that event, yes to writing that book. What will happen if you finally say yes to yourself, yes to your assignment, yes to what God has called you to do? And my advice, my challenge to you today is to say yes. Yes, even if you don't have all the answers. Yes, even if you are afraid. Yes, even if you don't know how it will all work out. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes to yourself. Yes to your assignment. Yes to your dreams.